Hello everyone, it's DiegoDoom here. Today I'm bringing you another review. Today I'll be reviewing Act Ultraman Gaia Supreme version. Ultraman Gaia Supreme version comes from the 1998 show Ultraman Gaia. When Gaia uses the Ogle force to the maximum, Supreme version form is achieved. Black and blue lines align his body resembling Ogle, and his physique and physical capabilities increase dramatically. If you all have not done so already, definitely check out the 1998 show Ultraman Gaia. It is simply fantastic. But nonetheless, Act Ultraman Gaia Supreme version is another fantastic release in the Act line. Ultraman Gaia Supreme version has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, fantastic accessories, and a fantastic range of articulation. So first, let's take a look at Ultraman Gaia Supreme version's accessories. So now let's take a look at Ultraman Gaia Supreme version's accessories. Ultraman Gaia Supreme version comes with a pair of chopping hands, a pair of open hands, a pair of forearms, one accessory stand piece, one warning crystal, one photon stream part effect, and one shining blade part effect. So first, the chopping hands. The chopping hands have a fantastic sculpt as well as fantastic paint apps going on. Very nice shiny silver metallic paint app with a very nice smooth glove-like sculpt. Very nicely done. The next pair of hands are the open hands. Same great sculpt, same great paint apps going on as well. Very nice. How these hands attach via a ball peg system, so grab our Gaia Supreme figure here. We're going to pop the hand on that ball joint peg. Grab that. Pop it on just like so. Now do be aware, these ball joints on these figures tend to move around a lot, and you don't want to break off the ball joint peg into the hand, so do handle swapping hands with the utmost care. And there we have it. Pretty simple. The next accessory that Gaia Supreme comes with is the accessory stand piece. The accessory stand piece here is very simple. It does go a very long ways here, and what this is meant for is to have Gaia Supreme in seamless flying poses. So this attaches to Gaia Supreme's lower back, so we'll grab him, pop this lower back panel out, okay, and then peg in the accessory stand piece. Perfect. So now we can peg in our Tamashii stands instead of using the unsightly clip, so it's definitely very cool there. The next accessory that Gaia Supreme comes with is his warning crystal. The warning crystal is very nicely done. A very nice transparent red plastic material going on with some very nice gold trim. So pretty cool there. A very small piece. We'll grab Gaia Supreme again. How it attaches, we'll remove out the standard crystal here. Pop that out. And put in the new crystal. And this does go in a particular way. You have to spin it around to kind of feel for the proper way it actually goes in. So have that turned appropriately. And I'll slide in like so, if I have it right, and I do not. Let's see. There we go. So now, Gaia Supreme is running out of energy and time is short. So definitely a very nice accessory there. Definitely cool. The next accessory that Gaia Supreme comes with is the Shining Blade part effect. The Shining Blade part effect is very nicely done here, done in a very nice, almost transparent blue. Very energy-like, very free-flowing, so definitely very cool. Now, one thing I must admit about this part effect, it can be very difficult to attach to Gaia Supreme, so I'm going to demonstrate the best way I figured out how to attach this to the figure. So we'll grab Gaia Supreme here. First is to remove both hands. So pull this hand off, and the other hands are removed as well. Now, the best way I know how to do this is actually to pull off the arm. Just pick one arm you want to pull off, pop that off there. Grab the part effect, peg one of the arms into one of the peg holes here inside the part effect. We'll just do that as best as we possibly can. And again, I'm not sure what's going on with the peg hole inside of the part effect, but it can be difficult to get in there. So once we get in there as best we possibly can, what we want to do is we're going to take the arm here and peg that back into Gaia Supreme. Pop that on like so. So popping the arm back on. And then we're going to kind of get that in place as best we possibly can. And again, I feel like this part effect could have been implemented a lot better, but don't let this deter you from this figure. It's still an awesome figure, just the part effects are done in a strange manner. So we're just going to kind of fake it because it's very hard to get both arms at the same time. So now we have Gaia Supreme using the Shining Blade part effect. So very cool, just kind of awkwardly implemented, but still a very nice accessory. The next accessory that Gaia Supreme comes with is an additional pair of forearms. The forearms here are very nicely done, pretty simple and very basic. Now these come into play for the Photon Stream part effect, so we have to attach these first. So pretty basic here, you have your left and right, so pretty simple there. Now one thing I must admit and must warn, it is very hard and very difficult to swap out these forearms, so kind of bear with me because every time I do this I feel like I'm going to break the forearm or break something off. So these are very hard to replace, but just kind of bear with me, we'll see what happens. So what we have to do is remove the forearm here towards the end. So the best way to do this is kind of grab this in the joint and just pull out very hard. And things are probably going to go flying everywhere. So that's one. Okay, we're going to put our forearm in for the appropriate side. Pop that in. Now that came off fairly easy. When I first got this figure, it was extremely hard to pop this off and pieces were flying everywhere. So if you have this figure, be prepared to do that initially until you actually soften up the sockets. So we'll do our other arm as well. Again, pop it off, and this one's going to be fairly hard. Let's see. Okay. And again, this is something you may go through when you have this figure. There we go there, finally got that one off. We'll put on the new forearm. Pop that one on, like so. Push it in pretty hard. Let's see. And got it there pretty good. So we're going to pop our arms back into the Gaia Supreme figure. Like so. So he'll look like this initially. So pretty cool there, but it is very difficult. So do be aware of that. So now I'll go ahead and take a look at the Photon Stream part effect here. It is very nicely done here, a very nice hard piece of plastic, full of energy exploding, so definitely very cool here. Now this attaches via our ball peg joint, so we'll grab our Gaia Supreme figure here, adjust the arms appropriately, and match up the pegs with the hands. So we're going to pop one in, like so. And let's see, be fairly, not as tough, but a little bit finicky, so we'll say. So get that one in, like so. And we'll do the other side as well, and try not to pop out our opposite side. Tilt that ball joint up, and pop it in. There we go. So now we have Gaia Supreme performing the Photon Stream of attack. So definitely very cool, very nicely done. Now I must admit the part effects are kind of hard to attach and are very finicky, but at the end of the day, they are absolutely fantastic. So definitely very cool here. So, give me one moment, we'll go ahead and put Gaia Supreme in a seamless flight pose. So now we have Ultraman Gaia Supreme version in a seamless flight pose. Ultraman Gaia Supreme version performing the Supreme Kick, and it looks absolutely fantastic. I am truly thankful for the accessory stand piece because now we can put Gaia Supreme and other Ultraman figures in seamless flight poses or aerial attack poses without using those unsightly Tamashii clips. That's definitely very cool. So, now we have Ultraman Gaia Supreme version's accessories out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at the Ultraman Gaia Supreme version figure itself. So now let's take a look at the Ultraman Gaia Supreme version figure itself. Ultraman Gaia Supreme version has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, and a fantastic range of articulation. So first let's start with the head. So Gaia Supreme can look left, he can look right, he can look up, and he can look down. In the shoulders here, they're on ball joints, so we can rotate this all around the socket. We have a very nice 360 rotation for the arms. You have some very nice double jointed elbows here. And the hands are a ball joints, so we can actually spin these around freely and bend these as well. In the upper chest area, we can look all the way up. We can look very far down and turn side to side. There's an ab crunch motion going on, so we can bend in very deep or extend very far out. In the legs here, we can actually kick out pretty high initially, so pretty cool there. But also we can pull this hip down and increase the range of articulation. So now we can kick up for a very nice high kick there. It's absolutely fantastic. The knees are double jointed, so we can bend this in pretty deep. And then the feet are articulated as well, so we can turn these and tilt these. And the toes are articulated also. So pretty cool. So we have a very nicely articulated figure here. It's absolutely fantastic. In terms of Sculpt and Paint apps, it's absolutely accurate and absolutely fantastic here. So you can see a very nice bulky skull for the Supreme form. So this is absolutely fantastic here. You can see some very nice metallic gold and silver paint apps going on. Very nice vibrant red, very nice vibrant blue, and a very nice flat black. So this figure is absolutely amazing here. And also in the eyes, very nice compound and luminescent eyes here. So definitely very cool. This figure is fantastic here. Very nicely done. So, now that we have the Ultraman Gaia Supreme figure out of the way, let's go ahead and do a very quick size comparison. So now let's do a very quick size comparison. On the left I have Ultraman Gaia V2, and on the right I have the Supreme version. As you can tell, both figures are as different as day and night. That's absolutely fantastic, and I think they illustrate very well how much a significant jump it is from V2 to Supreme version. That's very nicely done here. So, now that we have the size comparison out of the way, let's go ahead and conclude this review. To conclude the review, Act Ultraman Gaia Supreme version is another fantastic release in the Act line. Ultraman Gaia Supreme version has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, fantastic accessories, and a fantastic range of articulation. This figure is definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool, and I absolutely recommend that everyone picks this figure up. Now, do be aware, this is a web exclusive, so it can be a little bit pricey, but it is worth every penny. This has been another review by DiegoDoom. Thank you very much for watching, and please stay tuned for more figure reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe.